Joe Hopkins here, and today I'm talking about one of my favorite instruments, the banjo. Most of the people who watch my channel are guitarists, and if you play guitar, you really should get a banjo. You can play it. If you can play guitar, you can play the banjo. A lot of people have told me, hey, I'd love to learn to play the banjo, but I don't think I can. And the biggest obstacles for most people seem to be, one, learning a whole new instrument. And two, it seems more difficult than it is. It's really pretty easy, right? As far as being a whole different instrument, it's not. It's basically a guitar. It's got a different number of strings. It's laid out a little bit differently. It's got a different sound than a guitar because it has a different body, right, on it. It has like a little drum head. It's round. It's a little bit different, but it's basically almost the same instrument. And I'll explain it to you and make it real easy and show you a couple of tips you can use to transition from guitar to banjo. And why would you want to do that? Well, if you record stuff like I do, it's always cool to have some extra sounds, right? It's not always the same thing playing. You're not always recording the same instrument. You have options. If you don't record, if you just play songs, it's a fun instrument. It really is. Once you get into it, it's really a kick. And I'll show you how easy it is, right? This is a 5-string banjo, right? Commonly known as a bluegrass banjo. It's got that little 5th string on it. The other 4 strings, I got mine tuned to open G. But you can tune it the same as a guitar or tune it to all sorts of open tunings, just like with a guitar, right? But you just have 4 strings. It's basically, if you tune, let's see. Tuned to open G, it's tuned the same as a guitar. So that would be D, G, B, and the top string I've tuned to D. So it's open G, but you can tune the top string to E like a guitar if you want to. This 5th string, if you get a 5-string banjo, you don't have to. They have 4-string banjos that are tuned differently, and they have 6-string banjos, which banjo purists hate, but who cares? Get what works for you. But if you get one of these, that 5th string I have tuned to G. It's usually tuned to the root note or of the chord you're tuned to, or one of the notes from that chord even can work. Give it a different sound, you know. Tune it to your 3rd or 5th, and it can give it a different sound. I got mine tuned to G, but you can tune it however you want. There are tons of tunings. As far as playing it, there are a lot of different techniques. First, you can do the same thing you do on a guitar. You can strum chords. Yeah, right? All the same chords. If you have it in open tuning, you have to learn some new chord shapes. Otherwise, you don't really. Open G, I like open G because that's a pretty common tuning for the banjo, for one. For two, there are a lot of songs in G, and it just makes it easy, and then, just makes it easy. But what intimidates people is you see all them real fast pickers. That's the popular thing in banjo playing, is all that real quick picking. I never bothered to learn that. I carried over some of the same finger picking that I knew on the guitar, Sounds a little bit different with that drone string, I call it, with that high string. But it works the same as it does on the guitar. Same types of picking. If you can finger pick on the guitar, if you already do, you can do it on the banjo. If you don't worry about it. There are other ways to play this instrument, All kinds of ways. First of all, let's say you're a lead player, right? You want to play lead. You can do that on the banjo. You can play all the same scales and stuff on the banjo that you do on the guitar. A little bit different if, once again, if it's an open tuning, you tune it like a guitar, it doesn't matter. It's all the same. It's the same instrument. It's the same neck almost. Fretted instrument, right? If you like slide, if you play slide, that carries over. Yeah, I'm not the best slide player, you can tell, but it does carry over. But if you want, like me, to get that real banjo, folky, bluegrassy kind of sound, but without having to learn all the complicated pick and runs, I'll show you how to do it. This is the coolest thing. This is called Hammerclaw or frailing banjo. This is the magic of it. I learned this because it's easier. You do this. You strum, and then pluck that top string with your thumb. Get that motion down. And then you put a hiccup in it. So you do the bum, strum, pluck, bum, strum, pluck. Now, what does that do for you? Well, when you get to where you can do a little bit quicker, it's getting a little bit of that banjo sound, right? And it's easy. That's a pretty easy picking pattern that you can learn, and you don't have to have all the finger dexterity. You don't have to, work it till you can pick real quick and... Pretty easy stuff. And then you throw in some of those hammer-ons. We all know hammer-ons. You recognize that kind of plucky banjo kind of sound, right? And it's easy. It's just that and just work on it until instead of strumming the whole thing, you can pick out individual strings. That's just practice. If all you can do is the strumming part, like that, you're doing good. Not that hard. Just practice that. And you see I'm kind of flicking. I'm using the back end of my hand there. It's just flick, strum, and you pluck that. Let me turn it so you can see there. That's easy stuff. You get to where you can pick out individual strings and you can do. Yeah, now you're a banjo player. The trickiest part, this is the top end of that, is drop thumb. That's where, after that, you go down. Where you move your thumb down to pluck other strings. you get that. Yeah, or you can get a nice little rhythm going. See what I mean? So there you go. If you're a guitarist, you can play the banjo. Anything you do can carry over, and you don't have to get a 5-string banjo. You could get a 4-string banjo. Like I said, they're tuned a little bit different, but they have them. They also have ukulele banjos and mando banjos, like the mandolin type banjo, tuned like a mandolin, but it's a banjo. They got 6-string banjos that are tuned like guitars. You can get that if you want. You could get one of these and play around with it. You know? And you can even play with a pick if you want to. You know what I mean? So there you go. If you're a guitarist, you can play the banjo, and I hope this little lesson, tutorial, whatever it is, has encouraged you to try it out. I love playing the banjo. And if you're worried about the cost, you know, I've got a Harley Benton banjo hanging up on my wall there that was around $100. You know, you don't have to spend a lot of money. They're expensive banjos, and you can get a cheap one too, and it really doesn't make much difference. This one was free. It was given to me a long, long time ago by somebody who thought they wanted to play the banjo and then decided they didn't really. And they said, "Do you want it?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take that banjo, and I'll learn how to play it." So if you play guitar and you want something that's a little bit different, a little bit new, maybe has a different sound, or you just think it's kind of, this is a cool instrument, go ahead and get you a banjo, right? And there are 1,000 different types, right? This one's a resonator banjo. It's got, you know, a wood resonator on it, nice and loud. But you can get a quieter one too. Open back banjos are quieter if you prefer that. And I hope this helped you out, right? I'll see you guys in the next video. I love y'all. Peace out, baby. Bye-bye.